Hey, nobody's out there, right? Good. Anyway, I think my talk with that person did not go really good, but I'm trying to think of talking with people basically as like jujitsu. Jujitsu is basically showing me that like you can develop like a game. Like when I do jujitsu, basically I'm doing an engagement with a human, and I don't have a game yet. I don't have like I haven't really had like I haven't had a face-to-face conversation with somebody with eye contact pretty much my whole life. Like I've avoided eye contact pretty much my whole life, and so it's kind of late in my life to like develop this. But according to ChatGPT, like anybody can sort of build some skills at this. So I have to do it now. This is just like jujitsu. I sort of know how this goes at 45 years old. This is going to be like jujitsu. This is going to be, I'm going to get traumatized. I'm going to be like, oh, I can't do this. I'm so horrible. And I'm going to want to quit. And I might even quit like a few times, but I should keep going. I should keep rolling with people, and I'll develop some game. I'll develop like some little like tools and tricks, and I'm like, oh, like I sort of understand how this goes. Now what I have to do is what I want to do is I want to regularly have like Zoom chats with people if I can find willing training partners. And then when I work out, I like to turn things into a manageable, enjoyable grind. So when I work out, what I should do is I should watch my conversation, and then I should look like what worked, what didn't work, like what was awkward, when did the person sort of like get bored or like bummed out or something like that. And so one thing I noticed, like I don't know until I watch this, but I would like to just do this just like jujitsu. Like my dad is injured right now, and so it's kind of going to be like somewhat of a full-time job just to be able to sort of help him out with the errands that need done around the house. So this is a good opportunity for me to like learn some of this shit. And I'm not even really going to worry about doing art or anything like that. I think I just want to go to jiu-jitsu. I want to get unafraid of like people, at least to the ability where I can like confront humans and like interact with them. I'm really behind in like communication, social interaction, eye contact, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm building a game. I'm going to build, just like jiu-jitsu. Like jiu-jitsu, there's moves. Jocko talks about this. There's moves, and like I can watch I'm going to watch like what I did, and then I'm going to watch and be like, oh, I need some like new moves. And so it's going to take me a while to get this. And, I can just ask like ChatGPT if there's this thing, like whenever I try to do something difficult, there's these voices in my head that say, you can't do it. You'll never do it. You're not that type of person. And I just have to go to ChatGPT to dispel those ideas. Hey, having a conversation with another human, it's not like magic, right? I mean, there's tools, there's things that you can do and not do in order to have a conversation go well. You can definitely build conversation skills, and you can become a decent conversationalist no matter how socially inept or how awkward or how long you've avoided eye contact. It's like jiu-jitsu, right? Once you develop like a game, you have like things that you know what to do when, what not to do. You can kind of navigate it and maybe have it even go well after six months or a year of practice. Is that true, yes or no?
Yes. Here's why. Conversation is a skill. Just like any other skill. Playing an instrument, cooking, coding. It can be learned and improved with practice.
Is that absolutely true based off of repeated tests and observations and data that's been observed case after case? Yes or no?
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going off of that. The data says I can improve. I want to improve because really I just love to like get unafraid of humans. I'll probably never become like a social butterfly, but like just to be able to just to know what to do, like how to engage with a human and ask stuff. So this is my game. This is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a chat, and then I'm gonna watch what happened. And then when I go back, I'm gonna try something different next time and say like, what worked, what didn't work. Just like jiu-jitsu. Like I'm gonna learn like a new move. I'm gonna try it, and then I'm like, did that work? Maybe it didn't work. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. Do that for like a year, 5 days a week, or 3 to 5 days a week, and then see like how are we doing? Like, are we less afraid of humans? That's what I want to do. Anyway, here's my game. So what I kind of figured out from the chat that I did today, it seemed like the person that I was talking with, they didn't really, they didn't, I have to watch the thing. I'll watch the thing during my workout tomorrow. But it seems like referring to my paper and like asking random questions that don't have to do what we were talking about off the paper is probably not good. Joe Rogan says like, it's about the flow of the conversation. People say that too. Like most people, they ask. First of all, I should be more interested in the other person. I shouldn't bring them to my little sheet and ask all of my little random questions that are things that I want to know about. I should really try to like focus on them, and I have to get better at that. Like this chat, like I'm really good at like getting in my own head and talking about my own theories and stuff like that, and I'm really used to that. That's my comfort zone. What I have to do when I chat for just 15 or 20 minutes, I have to really focus on another person, which is really hard for me to do because I'm just not used to it, and I'm just kind of scared of people. And so this is going to be my little game. Next time I do a conversation with somebody, I'm going to practice this. While the person is saying stuff, I'm going to try to see if one word comes to mind while they're talking, and then I'm going to, if you know, just basically that's it. Like when they're talking, I noticed Joe Rogan does this. I noticed Joe Rogan will sort of like he'll kind of like he'll be listening to the person and he'll kind of hone in on like one word, and it seems like he sort of builds a sentence off of one word that he sort of that comes to mind when he's listening to the person. And then when they're done talking, I'm going to create a simple sentence based around that one word, and then I'm going to try to add another sentence immediately after that that starts with what, why, or how. That's active listening. There's this thing called active listening that I'm reading about, which is basically like asking open-ended questions. First thing, I got the eye contact thing down, and then like I should like nod sometimes to show that I'm paying attention. I should do if I can, I should do like subtle mirroring. Mirroring basically means, these are kind of advanced things, but basically I should nod once in a while to show that I'm paying attention, and I should really listen to it. But I'm really ADD, and I'm not used to listening to other people carefully. And so my little trick when I'm gonna do next time I do this is I'm gonna see if there's one word that sort of they're talking. So if they're talking, I'll listen to this guy for a second.
You know, he just instilled in us these basic, like, hey, make sure you're positive voices. Like, he just had a whole list of things to make sure we did. And
so if I hear that, I think about training. The idea of he sounds like he's talking about training. He says, oh, so it sounds like he has like a good training system. What kind of training did that guy give you? So it's kind of like I extract one word from what the guy's saying, and then I try to say what is an open-ended question. Now, and when I was talking with this person before, a lot of the questions I was asking were closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions are questions that tend to end, the person can respond in like yes or no, and those are not really good for conversation, according to ChatGPT. If I say like, do you believe in God? If they just say yes. Do you believe in a soul? No. The conversation doesn't really go anywhere. But if I say like, what sort of religious beliefs do you have? That's gonna get somebody talking for like a long time. And then if I say like, how did your parents raise you in terms of like your religious beliefs? That's gonna have somebody talking a lot more. So really I should avoid, I shouldn't really go to my sheet. I should listen to what the person is saying, and I should keep the focus on them, and I should try to sort of like have what they're saying spawn more stuff rather than saying some random thing off my sheet. That's my theory. Anyway, so what's my strategy? So this is gonna be it's just like jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna try to chat with the person. I'm gonna have a really simple game. And my game probably won't work very good. It's going to have flaws, and I'm going to be like, oh, I have to learn some other stuff. So then when I chat again, I'm going to watch the thing again. I'm going to go, oh, like, I should do something different next time. How do I get around that problem? And then I'm just going to try to keep doing that. You know, if nothing else, I'll just practice eye contact for a while. Anyway, that's my little strategy. Let me check my strategy. I like this ChatGPT because, like, these things, they're not, like, magic. And there's people who have spent their whole lives trying to figure out how to have conversations with people like therapists and stuff like that. And so they probably learned some stuff that I can learn from ChatGPT. So what I want to say, like, so could it be said to be true that like if you were having a one-on-one conversation with somebody, it's kind of like jiu-jitsu in the sense that you're going to build a game, you're going to build like some little things that you can do to make that rolling with that person kind of go better. And like, here's my game. My current game for next time I have a conversation with somebody is when they're talking, I'm kind of ADD, so I might not be able to remember everything they say, but I'm going to try to remember at least one main word. Whatever they said, I'm going to try to think of one word that comes to mind related to what they said, and then I'm going to try to say a simple sentence incorporating that word, and then I'm going to ask an open-ended question after that, something like, what got you involved in that thing with that one word? So I'll say like two sentences. One simple sentence involving the word that comes to mind, followed by open-ended question. Is that a good sort of basic conversation game, like a jiu-jitsu game? Yes or no?
Yes, your approach has several elements that align with effective conversational strategies. Active listening, focusing on key words, demonstrates active listening and shows you're paying attention. Relating and reflecting, incorporating a related word shows you're engaging with their thoughts and making connections. Open-ended questions, these encourage the other person to elaborate and share more, keeping the conversation flowing. This game provides a simple framework for improving your conversational skills. It encourages you to be present,
Do you think when having a conversation, it's good to have sort of a like jiu-jitsu, you have like a game, you have like some little tools that are somewhat mechanical, but then sometimes to go off the cuff when you feel like you have something to say that could be off the cuff? Yes or no?
Yes, structure and spontaneity, a blend of...
Is it true that communication is like one of the most important skills you can have in life, just for basic like life stuff?
Yes, communication is fundamentally important for...
Yeah, see, I'm not really good at like I have no experience with like back and forth eye contact communication. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I really like, he said that's the most important. You always hear like the cool people will say communication is the most important skill. I'm terrible. I have no experience with. I'm terrified of eye contact. So I would like. I'm never gonna get like great at this. Just like jiu-jitsu, I'm not gonna. Although I did get a gold medal in jiu-jitsu after 1 year, but I won the BJJ U.S. Open at San Jose in my division. But anyway, get to the point. Gold medal. I got gold medal. But so that's my. So just this is my theory. Is just like. I got a gold medal. I got a gold medal in jiu-jitsu, which I thought I would never be able to do, and it was in a legit tournament. But I quit like 5 times. The first 3 to 6 months was pretty like traumatizing until I developed like a game. I have to have some sort of like tools that work, and so, and you know, even you'll do jiu-jitsu once in a while, and it's still sort of like, it can be sort of. It's really not awkward anymore. Also, another thing I noticed about this stuff is like, anyway, I can rant forever. But anyway, less theory. I have to do less of this like theory shit. I gotta do more of like the doing of the stuff. And so anyway, that's it. So what am I gonna do? So I'm just gonna refresh my memory. This is my, just like jiu-jitsu, I have like I have some new moves that I'm gonna do. I'm like, oh, that didn't, like, let's try this new move next time. And I just have to do this for like, 3 to 5 days a week for like a year, and just assume that it's going to be like a slog. It's going to be like a arduous sort of process that's going to be discouraging. I'm going to get like traumatized, and I'll just be like, I'll never be good at this. But I think if I just keep at it for like a year, I can at least, get not as awkward or terrible. But there's going to be all these voices in my head that say, you'll never learn this, Sean. And I know how this goes. Anyway. It's not magic. Anyway, so what's my tools, my little strategy? Listen to the person. I should not ask questions off of my little sheet. I should go with what they're talking about, and then try to keep the focus on them. Active listening, eye contact, nodding occasionally, or subtle nearing, and then when I listen to them, I should try to whatever they're saying. There's probably going to be one word that's going to kind of come to mind, or that I'll remember from what they're saying. So there's going to be one word that what they're saying, I'm going to focus on this word. There's going to be a word that comes to mind. I should build a very simple sentence incorporating that word that comes to mind, and then ask an open-ended question immediately after that. Something like, how did you get into that? Or what school taught you that stuff related to that subject? I have to try to say it quicker and less awkward. Can you give me an example? I'm just gonna say, like, let's say I'm listening to this. Basically, I'm gonna listen to a sentence that he's saying, and I'm gonna try to. There's gonna be one word that comes to mind based off of what he's saying, and then I'm gonna try to follow it with an open-ended question.
And those things always stuck with me. So yeah, you young Marines out there, and people you know, if you're in the Navy and you're doing, if you're doing boarding.
All right, so he said young Marines. So I'll say, how young are the Marines? Like, what's the age range for Marines starting out nowadays? And then, like, what are the physical requirements for becoming a Marine? Like, can anybody become a Marine? So, something like that, basically. Like, there's gonna be some word that I'm gonna extract from the gist of what the guy's saying, and then I'll say some sort of open-ended question. How long does it take to become a Marine? How long is, like, entry-level Marine training? It's gonna be awkward, but that's like my little system. Is like I have my little system, and then if I have like natural, normal things that I feel like saying like a normal human being, I'll try to do that also. But I don't know. I need like a little system. Anyway, that's my claim. Come on, Sean. Don't you have anything else to say? I know how I operate. I've really learned a lot about like how this thing operates. What do you mean, John? I'm gonna want to quit. I know how this goes. It's like if I do these chats, just like jiu-jitsu, this is what I've learned about this guy myself. I've learned that like this guy, when he's doing some new thing, he's gonna want to quit within the first 3 months. Guaranteed. If I try to do Zoom chats with people, there's going to be at least one, possibly 3 to 5 times over the next like 3 to 6 months. If I try to make this a regular thing that I do, I'm going to be like, I just can't do this. This is terrible. I just hate this. What am I doing this for? There's no reason to do it. But if I can hang in there for like 3 to 6 months and keep going with it, I'll find some game. I'll find some little tricks that'll make it sort of fun, and I'll be like, oh, I can sort of do this. But I'm gonna want to quit in the first 3 to 6 months. But I should keep doing it because really, like, I've completely neglected like face-to-face interaction for pretty much my whole life, and I'm like 45 years old. It's like, you know, my dad is like really fucked up. He could, you know, eventually I'm gonna have to deal with life on my own, and that's gonna be significantly harder if I can't sustain eye contact and have a conversation with a stranger. That's like something I should probably learn how to do. Can you substantiate that? Hey, I'm 45 years old. I've been sheltered by my dad for my whole life, and I'm terrified of eye contact and conversation with strangers. If I could learn how to have basic conversations with strangers, incorporating eye contact, would that significantly help my life and my ability to fend for myself if my dad disappeared? Yes or no?
Yes. Here's how it...
For sure it would, like based off of like data and evidence of other people's lives.
Yes, absolutely. Extensive research. Numerous studies in psychology and sociology demonstrate a strong correlation between effective communication skills and increased independence. Individuals with strong communication skills are better able to navigate daily life, build support networks, and advocate for themselves. Improved mental health. Effective communication can reduce stress, improve self-esteem, and foster stronger relationships, all of which contribute to better mental well-being. Enhanced quality of life. Strong communication skills enable individuals to participate more fully in their communities, build meaningful relationships, and achieve their personal and professional goals. Real-world examples. Countless individuals have experienced significant improvements in their lives by developing strong communication skills. This includes overcoming social anxiety, building successful careers, and navigating challenging life transitions.
All right, so that's really what I want to do. Is I want to overcome social anxiety. I just really want to be like unafraid of people, and I want to have like a system. I want to know that I can like, I know what to do if I have to like talk with a human, and so I think it's gonna take like a year, and I'm not gonna be great at it, but I really honestly like I don't even really want it. I don't want to do it, but I know that I should do that. It's gonna make like dealing with life better. Boy, I'll tell you what though, I fucking love just putting my head in the sand. Boy, do I love just like hiding from the world and absorbing myself into some sort of little art project on a screen for just like years. Lord knows there's I've known few people who love to hide from the world and avoid social interaction as much as me. But just before I die, I'd like to try to overcome fear of humans. I always like every time I'm gonna shut up a second. But every time I ever try to tackle this, whenever I think like I'm gonna like learn how to socialize and look at people and listen to what they're saying, I always chicken out and I go back to my screen. And just years go by, and now I'm like 45. It's like I better like try to at least like be able to sustain eye contact and not have like a panic attack. Anyway.